Welcome back. It's your host, Richie Rich. You're now tuning to Sold in 60. And y'all know Sold in 60 is the one and only timeshare podcast in the world. You know what I'm saying? The galaxy. But this is where we talk that talk about sales. We collaborate with sales professionals. We talk about the industry topics, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, and hopefully that you get something that motivates you or enhances your sales. So today, me and Dylan has collaborated once again, to bring you another episode of Sold in 60. Big D, down payment Dylan, what's the word, my brother?
So the word for today, we got 3-4 amazing topics for you guys. I know it's been a minute. Appreciate everybody watching us on Spotify, Fire Stick, Instagram, YouTube. The YouTube is blowing up right now, so you guys definitely go check that out.
Yeah.
The topics that we got for today, the first topic, let's see. Disney World's popular Polynesian Village Resort is looking to add 268 new timeshare rooms. They're actually building a brand new building specifically just for the timeshare sector. So we're going to get into that. Next topic is timeshare industry sees timeshare growth year over year. So we're definitely going to get into why people continue to purchase timeshares, right? That's a nice topic we're going to get into. And the third one, the third topic, Myrtle Beach timeshare owners talk about a closed resort's future. So apparently there was a resort in Myrtle Beach that closed down, and they kind of just left the owners stuck. The owners don't know what to do. We're going to dive into that a little bit and see what's going on there. So let's just go back to our first topic. Let's start it right off. Let's start off with the Disney adding 268 new timeshare rooms to their property. My question for you, Richard, is can a resort ever sell out of timeshare to sell?
If they have points, I don't think they can sell out because points just are controlled by how they set it up, right? I believe points are in a trust. I never sold points, by the way, but from what I understand, that if you can manipulate the value of the points, how can you ever sell out? If today I'm telling you it costs 100 points to book a week, and then the values of those points reduce, let's say now, inflation, or we just built the new water park or this, that, and the third, and now it's going to cost 60 points, right, to book that stay, or more, let me say 160 points. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need to buy more points. So how can you sell out?
Oh, so you're saying if you have points, the company forces you to buy more points so that way you can use the ownership. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm in control of the game here. You know what I mean? Like, yesterday it was 100 points to get this room. Now it's 200 points. My bad. So you need a little bit more points, or you want to do a half a week?
Well, let's take points out of the equation. Let's say I'm at a company. I own a 1-bedroom 1 week.
So according to the American Resort Development Association, as we looked at that one time, they have code of ethics where they can't oversell a certain unit. So that whole 52 weeks thing, and they deed a week in a building, I think that makes more sense as far as control, that you can't oversell something 53 or 54 weeks, right? Because there's only a certain amount of calendar weeks in the year in that particular unit. So I don't think that they can do that with weeks, but I think with points, you could definitely finagle that, But I think that they did a good job by building more timeshare, because people need a place to stay regardless. Everybody wants to stay on the property. That's a flex. Disney has a flex to say, hey, you want to stay on our resort. And if you purchase in our club, you ownership with us, you get these perks. They probably have more perks. It's just, I never worked for Disney. I know a few people that work for Disney, but they probably get more benefits. You own with us. Maybe you get some
Disney tickets here and there.
Skip the line.
Yeah.
Fast pass. I don't know.
For sure. So let me ask you this. How important is it to learn how your guests' current timeshare works, right? So let's just say you're an in-house rep, you're taking an in-house tour, and the family that you're touring owns timeshare already with another company. It's important to know that other companies have different point scales or different week scales, I guess, depending on how you look at it, right? Let's say I'm sitting with a family that owns at Wyndham. They're dealing with 300, 400, 500,000 points. Disney, they're dealing with the 100, 200 points. Hilton, they're dealing with 30, 40, 50,000 points. Explorer Resorts, they deal with 100, 200 points. Let's take a Westgate for an example. They deal with bedrooms, right? 3 or 4 or 5 bedrooms. They also have some lock-off properties also, lock-off units. So there's some resorts out there that have the 1 week or the 2 week, and they don't have lock-off units out there. So going back to the question is, how important is it for you to learn what your family in front of you has and how they use their ownership?
It's very, very important, because if you're trying to create a need, you need to find something that's wrong with what they got, or an angle for you to say, okay, you're using that this way, but what about when you want to do this? What about when you want to retire? Do you really have enough? If you own X amount of points, but one vacation is costing you all those points, you don't have enough. So what I'm going to tell you is something to supplement the gap or the void that you're going to have when you want to take the anniversary trip, or when you want to do that month away, when you want to celebrate your retirement. So it's important to know what they own works, because every in-house person is going to get an exchanger that either exchanges to their resort, or they may get someone that is renting from them that owns somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So it's important to know, if you're a person that sells weeks and a person comes into your resort that owns points, you need to ask them how those points work. Some resorts teach you a little bit on how points work, but they don't go into depth. But as a student, when I was on the sales floor, we were only told that point values change all the time, and you constantly got to continue to purchase more points, right? Because that can change. So I would have to ask the person, well, how many points does that get you? Well, sure. How many points does it take for you to get a week or a 2-bedroom or this Absolutely. Or that, right? And then I could say, well, you probably will never have enough for where you want to go. Yeah. And so I think it's very, very important. The same thing for weeks. If somebody can if someone with weeks goes into a place with points and they say, well, how does your week work? Oh, let them have a fixed week that is limited to week 32 each year that they can't split, or they can't use for some of the beautiful things that points can be applied to. Oh, you got a sale right there, because you know what I'm saying? So I think it's very, very important. That's what they call discovery. But we have to learn how to ask the question without making it seem like we're trying to downplay what they own. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's where people go wrong. Like, the first thought is, let's bash what they have. No, you need to say how your product supplements what they have, mm-hmm. and now you have the best of both worlds.
Never call their baby ugly, basically.
Yeah,
right?
Like that.
That's the old saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're a rep out there and you're in-house, and you're sitting with these owners and they're coming in from other companies, take the time out to do a proper discovery and find out what they own, how they use it, and how it works for them. Mm-hmm. Right? That'll definitely help you out. Moving on to the next topic. The timeshare industry sees timeshare growth year over year. So the question is, why do people continue to purchase timeshare? Even though we hear a lot of negative things about the timeshare industry, for some reason,
you just can't get rid of them.
You can't get rid of them. But people continue to purchase them. Why is that?
One, you guys are very strong and very good at what you do. You're selling them. I think that people see the logic, and most people are, the ones that use it are enjoying it. So these companies, once you purchase something and you're locked into it, I think you only want to make it better. There's a few people that will never upgrade ever again, but I think they've already went through a cycle of making changes. Don't know what the lifespan is for each owner, but I believe that there's a threshold where they get like enough is enough. But then there's some people that just love it, will continue to purchase more. They like to own different resorts, different locations, different seasons. They just want to have the best of the best. They want to keep up with the Joneses. There's a lot of reasons why people purchase, but it is true. The industry has been growing every year. Now, I can tell you why. Property values have gone up. Average sales prices is going up. Amenities are being added, and people are really enjoying their vacations. And some people are actually offsetting the cost of vacation by actually renting their weeks to other people. Some resorts are giving programs to help them earn money for sending other people, but definitely seeing growth year after year. And I think that travel is up. Travel is up. Ever since after COVID, people said, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to vacation. And if by any chance you can get in front of somebody that shows you why owning makes more sense than renting, and you can afford it, then they're going to do it.
Talk to me a little bit about selling from your own pockets.
You know, when you're intimidated to ask somebody for the $50,000 down payment and the $2,000 monthly payment, because in your mind you're thinking, hell no, nobody can afford that. That's what shorts you from getting a sale. Because sometimes you ask for it and they'll be like, oh, I can do that. And you're like, wait, really? What? And we stumble. So selling from your own pocket is just saying, I know I can't afford it. You can't afford it. I don't think he can afford it. I don't think nobody can afford it. That's because they don't believe in the price. I think that once you could believe in the price of something, you'll have the what's the word I'm looking for? The confidence and the conviction to say it's only $191,000. It's only $191,000, and it's $20,000 down today, and that's a monthly payment of $1,900. Which card would you want to use for the down payment? Like, there's a certain level of conviction you need to say that, and you know, there's a saying: if you don't ask, you don't get, right? Because guess what? You may do that 50 times, and maybe just one of the times somebody's gonna be like, "Okay, let's do it." But if we think that it's not worth that much, we won't present it like that, right? And also, I think that you have to be able to justify why the price is that high. You know what I'm saying? If your value pitch is not matching up with the price, then you don't even believe it. Then they are not going to believe it. You know? So to answer the question, selling from your own pockets, I think it's just a fear of thinking that people is going to say no because what you're presenting you don't think is that valuable.
For sure. Absolutely. And we touched this before. You know, I know a lot of reps like to say, oh, we give you a 10-year note, and after it's paid off, you know, you own it forever. And even though we do give them a 10-year note, who's to say that they're going to take the whole 10 years to pay for it?
Correct.
Right? So another way to present it would be, you know, make it sound like it's nothing. Yeah, guys, you know, majority of our owners, they pay it off in about 3 to 4 years. You know, it's only $100,000, $50,000 down, $2,000 a month. Make it sound like it's nothing.
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Everyone's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into our next topic. Myrtle Beach timeshare owners talk about a closed resort's future. So timeshare owners at the Beach House Golf and Racket Club could finally get some new answers after nearly a year after their resort suddenly closed, right? So owners who are up to date on their maintenance fees can vote to repair the building, repair it with upgrades, or choose to demolish it, right? So one thing that we want to take note about this article is it's a great way to create a third-party story, right? It gives you the ability to build credibility and showcase your company, right? So if you have companies, timeshare companies that's shutting down on their owners, this is a time for you to build credibility for your company, regardless of where you work at.
Absolutely.
You know, let them know, hey, we've been around for X amount of years. Look at our accomplishment. Look at all the resorts we have, yada, yada, yada. You know, our hotel chains or our timeshare resorts are not shutting down randomly on their owners and things
Correct.
like that. You know what I'm saying? What would you take? What would you take from that, Richard?
I mean, I would definitely use that to my advantage, especially for me when I worked at a privately held timeshare company. That would help me because I could say that this company hasn't changed over the years. This company has kept the same owner for over 40 years. That just shows that we are financially stable. You know what I'm saying? Because you have people that have turnover all the time, especially if you come from a smaller resort. You know, if you don't have a household name like everyone else knows, because the trust is not really there. You know, building trust with these people, you need to have not just trust in yourself, but then there's the company trust and then there's the industry trust. So I would definitely use that to my advantage and say, look, we haven't changed over years. Now, that has happened to one of the properties that company that I worked for had.
They shut down?
They sold it to another company. And then those owners were just left
out to dry?
Yes. I feel like they were left to dry. They were none of my owners, but I kind of came in after that transition. What happened was they're given a specific number to call for reservations. but they're no longer under this brand. You know what I'm saying? So they had to call this number to make any reservations, but now this resort is owned by another resort. You know, and I think that those owners felt displaced. Those people felt like, well, what the heck, you know? And they really and in that brand, you couldn't even upgrade those accounts. Like they had to be stuck with what they got. So I think they got the bad end of the stick. So anytime that the ownership of the property is not solely from that person, you may have that situation. But if I came across a table like that, I would use that to my advantage.
For sure.
You know, I wonder what resort that was in Myrtle Beach.
This was actually, if I'm not mistaken, the Capital Vacation property.
And Capital's growing. Like I know a lot of people that have been moving to Florida and South Florida to work for Capital. So
yeah,
we need to get somebody from Capital up on the show.
Have you ever met a guest that told you they owned, and when they told you the name of the company, it was some company you've never heard of before?
Absolutely. I don't know specifically, but I learned by talking to different people. Like I didn't know what Kings Creek was. I didn't know Kings Creek hit hard because I don't know why. That's something in VA. There's a few of them.
Encanto. Have you heard of Encanto?
There's another one I can't. Spinnaker.
Yeah,
like you. That's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? There's many resorts that I haven't heard of. You know, and you know there's people that come from branded resorts that may come to a smaller resort and never heard of them either. You know, they ended up there, but they, you know, so yeah.
What about the families that when you ask them, what do you own? And they say, oh, I own RCI.
I love that.
I own Interval International.
I just had that the other day. Someone was on a table and that's what they said. The family said they own Interval International. And I'm like, they don't, you know? So if you guys get that, just please understand that the people don't own, and you have to educate them that it's an exchange company. So they own somewhere and they're exchanging their week into it. The problem that I have is that I heard that, and not to discredit the rep, I discredit whoever trained them, because guess what? They were never even trained on understanding that there's multiple exchange companies, and to be aware of when someone says, I own at RCI or I own at Interval. There's another, or I own Dial Exchange. Like they haven't had the training to explain to them there are multiple exchange companies that people come use, you know? And so, yeah, I think that's product knowledge that's very, very important.
Summertime's right around the corner.
Ooh, it's about to turn up. Long nights,
big checks.
Long nights, big checks, long days, many tours, running. Get your running shoes ready. Because summer is about to come, which is the bulk of the time people make their money, right? If you had a scale measuring when they make the bulk of their money, would you say it's the summer?
Oh, summertime for sure. Summertime for sure. Absolutely.
What do you think are the biggest times of the year where people earn money in timeshare business?
It's summer, like you say, summer, holidays, spring break, summertime, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, all of that, all those major holidays.
A lot of people are gonna not be able to take their kids somewhere for the summer because they sell timeshare.
Yeah,
you know
that's true too.
If you're thinking about getting into the timeshare business, just kiss goodbye all the holidays. You can kiss goodbye the holidays.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? Because and your summer's a wrap. So you can have the vacation in off season. You'll be vacationing in September, May. You know what I'm saying?
But you'll have the bread. You'll definitely have the bread.
You will have the bread. But get your running shoes ready, y'all. Summer's coming.
Got you. Shout outs to St. Martin. You know, my mom recently moved out the country down there to St. Martin to sell timeshare. And, you know, they just changed. They used to have down payment assistance out there. They just took that away. So now it's a little bit harder. Now you got to get the whole 20-30% down from the people. They can't just apply for, a credit card or something like that. So I think it'll be a lot harder for the reps down there. But she's down there surviving.
That's what's up. No down payment assistance, but it's in the Caribbean. Most people vacationing out there, if they're using their week, I think that's a good qualified tour. You know, you're not getting
kids. Yeah,
the kids. You're not getting the ones that was Golden Corral that got hooked for a little bit of money. You're getting people who got a passport. We out here. We vacationing.
Yeah,
we was gonna buy a house out here
for sure.
But talk to me nice. So congratulations to her. And if anyone of you guys that are watching the show and you're in, because we've and shout out to everyone who's buying the Sold in 60 cars, the objection cars. I mean, we've got orders from Hawaii, Vegas. But I love to see that there's different people in the industry all over the world, So if you're in another country and you're selling timeshare and you're tapped in, please hit us up on the Instagram page, send us a message. We would love to go live with you. We just created the platform where we can do remote. We can bring in guests, so hopefully we can get your moms on from the Caribbean.
For sure, let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? And we would love to hear what's going on. What's the clientele like? I mean, I can only imagine what it's like living on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Conch fritters.
Yeah. Crabs, all of that.
Fresh fish.
For sure.
And just, selling vacation, because vacations is everything. And if you guys are in this industry and you're not vacationing, you got to push yourself and make sure you do it. You can't talk it if you don't live it.
For sure. Can you do me a favor, Richard? Shout out our sponsors, man, for today.
So today's sponsor, Richdale School of Real Estate. I know that some people are starting in the industry this summer and are not licensed as of yet. But if you have about 3 weeks out of your time, do it at part-time. Richdale School of Real Estate, one of our sponsors, will help you get through that course so that you can catch that wave, because the summer's here. So go to their website, richdaleschool.com, or follow them on Instagram, Richdale School. And I'll put that right there on your screen.
Awesome. All right, man. It felt good to get in the studio real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Good.
Back in the studio, new setup. You see is clean. We have a guest coming soon, and you could be on here too. You see this seat right here? This seat right here has your name on it right there. Sure. So if you want to come in and talk about your journey, and because everyone is curious, and we never had an outlet that we can turn to and get information before we got in the game. And I appreciate everyone that stops us on the street or at the resorts, or sends us messages and tells us that they're tuned in, because we did this for you. We did this. Sure. We didn't have this platform, So, and if there's any topics that you want us to touch, let us know.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So, I haven't heard anything yet about any new acquisitions and resorts, but I know that, like you said, Capital may have lost one. But I know that they're growing. Someone just called me. They're moving from Tennessee to actually go to South Florida. A lot of people are migrating. And getting in sales. That last show, the young lady, she was in telesales. There's a lot of people doing sales over the phone because the owners are upgrading. You can have somebody that you sold and they get a call and then they upgrade before you know it. So sometimes in the slow season, if your resort allows you to, maybe you should call your owners yourself if they allow you to. Don't break the rules.
We got some good feedback from that last episode, because I had some people that seen that show tell me they didn't know that you could sell timeshare over the phone. So that opened up a new avenue for them. Yeah. All right. Well, shout out Factual Film Studio. I appreciate you guys for making this possible. If you guys are looking to get into the podcast industry, maybe you want to start your own podcast. Maybe you're in the sales industry and you want to be on the show, definitely reach out to Factual Film Studio. They'll point you in the right direction. And that's how you get sold in 60. Just like that, and we out.
Yeah.